Sorry for the delay. I hope it's worth it. I was asked if I would put together a song to commemorate this fine event. And I said, well, I'll need a little bit of information because I don't know a lot of personal stuff about Dave. What I was going on was this. I knew he was a very welcoming person because when I came to Cameron a year ago this past September, before I arrived, I received a card, a welcoming card signed by David and by the other admin team members. And this summer, my birthday is in July, and right out of the blue, I received a birthday card signed by David and the other members of the admin team, and I thought, what a lovely gesture, what a fine human being. And I went into the office earlier in the week, and I said to Diane Hummel, who mails out those cards? And Diane says, I do. But I know Dave's heart was in it. I know, let me tell you this too, what I was handed was not some information that I could really put into a song, but I was handed his curriculum vitae. It's about as exciting as the periodic table. I mean, as far as, I mean that in the sense of putting it, into song form. I mean, his curriculum vitae is very impressive, but as far as lyrics for a song, I needed something to work with. So I knew he was an amazing man. I knew he had many accomplishments from his curriculum vitae. I knew he had written physics textbooks. I knew he had presented at conferences all over the country. I knew that he was on countless boards and chaired countless meetings. And I was still looking for something I could put into a song. So I went around and I did tap into a few sources, but my sources said, I will give you some information if you promise that you do not reveal where these quotes came from. So I promise, you're safe out there. You people know some of you people know the portable story that Judy Cook talked about, but not everybody knows that. You see, we thought we were going to lose one of our portables at Cameron last year when we were getting ready for this year. And so David took upon himself to take up the challenge to see if he could in fact timetable the whole room allocation so that we didn't have to use that particular portable. And then about 3 months into the school term, Heather Murdoch came in one day and said, I would like to use that portable for a junior math league because nobody ever seems to be in there. And what we realized, and what the office staff realized, is that everybody forgot that portable existed and nobody was ever in there. Now, I want to tell you though, before you take it away from us, don't take it away from us because we're using it almost daily now. David spent some time in Uganda back in 1964 to 67. This comes from his curriculum vitae, and I did work this into the song because this is a neat story. Apparently, at some point, he helped deliver a baby in Uganda, and the parents... Yeah? Oh, that's the baby? No, I thought this was a baby of an African family. Oh, there were two babies. Sorry, two babies. One was his daughter, and one was the baby of an African family, and the parents. And the parents were so grateful that they gave this child, as a first name, Martindale. So somewhere in Uganda, there is a 30-year-old young man. His name is Martindale Mugaba. I've seen David at grade 8 and 9 parents' night talking to the parents. And I often wondered, does he have any notes, or is he just, making this up right off the top of his head? Because it flows very well. And so I asked some of my sources, does he make notes? And I'm told that he has a phenomenal memory, and he usually doesn't have to make any notes. That, for the most part, he's accurate when he speaks. He knows the jargon. He knows the jargon, and in fact, he can out-jargonese anyone. He's extremely concerned for the well-being of his staff. He can generate amazing reports. Now, this is a direct quote. The empirical data on these reports looks good, whether it's relevant or not. Now last week, Dave was out of the school, and he was beginning the process of cleaning out his office. And I noticed Brenda from our office staff. Brenda, put up your hand over there. Brenda was right outside his door with a paper shredder. And it was sort of reminded me of Nixon, leaving the White House. I salvaged some of the paper. And I thought, okay, what's in these reports that Dave has been turning around? Now, this was a complete report, this one right here. After getting input from the entire staff, this one I saved, I'm going to glue it back together. This one was on the advantages of de-streaming. A very impressive report. Okay, now this stuff, okay, these were generic learning outcomes for any occasion. Relationships are important to Dave. Also, I've been told that he goes at a very fast pace, and if you're not on his train, that is tough to keep up with him. And what I noticed about him, when I first met him, our conversations were very brief. It's not that he was abrupt with me, but they didn't last too long. They were about 15 or 20 seconds, and it was end of conversation. And it's only recently that we've had some extended conversation. It's really been very enjoyable because he's a very interesting man. And I'm told that he should be slowing down, and one of the props that I forgot, because I know he's into high-speed computers, I was going to donate one of the collection of VIC-20s that I have, and I did forget to bring it along. That would force him to slow down in the computer area. I'm told he's very good under pressure. He can juggle, keep a lot of things going, as Judy mentioned. And now listen to this quote. This is beautiful. And if you want the source, you can talk to me personally afterwards, but I love this. He's good under pressure. And listen to this. Like a tea bag, you don't know his strength until you see him in hot water. I learned an expression from Dave. It's walk the talk. Now, I've been around a while, and I had never really heard that expression. Why, you got to walk the talk. And I figured out, I'm an educated man. It took a little while, and I figured out it means practice what you preach. Is that right? Is that another? Okay, walk the talk, practice what you preach. Now, probably everybody's heard that except me, but I learned that from Dave, and I heard him use that a number of times. And I know that he did keep that in mind in his dealings with people. He tried to walk the talk. One other story I have to tell you. I was trying to gather information. The information is longer than the song, by the way. The song is short. He has a chair in his office, as everyone has in his or her office. Now, his chair is quite unique because it's not a very safe chair. Now, David thinks it's fine, but I was told that this chair actually tips forward. And so when he wasn't in his office, right after Brenda had done the paper shredding, I sneaked in to try it. He wasn't around, and I sat in the thing, and I leaned a little bit forward, and it's true. All of a sudden, it gives way, and you fall out. You do a nosedive off the front end of this chair, and apparently one day, Diane heard a thud in the office, and it was Dave on the floor. He had fallen right out of his chair. So I don't know what we're going to do about that chair, but I do make reference to that in the song. I thought that was interesting. Dave honestly thinks the chair is fine. It's amazing. If you get a chance, stop into Cameron, try it out. One thing, when I saw the poster for the event today, I thought, quite an interesting poster, because there's some sort of tropical paradise. It looks like palm trees, and you people have seen that poster? And I thought he might be a little bit offended because Carolyn looks fine. But in the poster, I thought, gee, he looks a little bit like the missing link. And David, I've never thought of you in that way, but I thought that poster, I don't know. All right. With all that in mind, I'm going to sing the song. It all started back in '61. The school was CHCI, and right to this day there still is told the tale of a dedicated scientist was just maybe when he rose to the assistance of a mother in distress and quite capably delivered forth a baby. As the years would fly on by, he'd return to CHCI, then off to Eastwood, Southwood, Cameron Heights. For these 35 fine years, we say thanks and raise great cheers. David, you have done it all, you've seen the sights. He is married to dear Carolyn, and he is a family man. His accomplishments deserve a second look. When it comes to publications for the high school physics scene, it is true to say that David wrote the book. He's a principal with principles. He likes to walk the talk. He's a strong believer in collaboration. And if you require reports for any study or event, please see David. He has one for each occasion. Dear David, you inspire. Now you're ready to retire, and all here wish the very best for you. For these 35 fine years, we say thanks and raise great cheers. May adventure be in everything you do. He likes his music classical. He's into Tilly hats, and he's into fast computers, if you please. He's got facts and figures tucked up in his steel trap memory, and he is a champ at speaking jargonese. In his office there is a padded chair that pivots frightfully. Dave says it is fine, but we will use prevention, lest we injure our new principals on day one of the job. We will requisition one brand new suspension.